calling the North Koreans' test firing of an ICBM a, quote, clear and sharp military escalation. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, said to an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council today, the U.S. will not forget this move and will not delay. There are plenty of questions tonight concerning just what the U.S. can and should do about North Korea's bold provocation. President Trump arrived in Poland a short time ago, where he will be consulting with world leaders in Europe over the next few days. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts starts us off tonight from Warsaw. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. The stakes for President Trump's second foreign trip are much higher now that North Korea tested that intercontinental ballistic missile, dramatically ramping up the urgency to rein in the Hermit Kingdom.
As he left the White House bound for Warsaw this morning, President Trump sounded an optimistic note about rallying world support against North Korea. In public pronouncements, North Korea's closest neighbor, China, appeared to be saying the right thing.
China opposes the launch of missiles by North Korea in violation of the UN Security Council resolutions. We urge the North Korean side to stop taking actions that violate United Nations Security Council resolutions and to create the necessary conditions for the resumption of talks.
But the president this morning made it clear he believes China has been saying one thing and doing another. On Twitter, pointing fingers at Beijing. Quote, trade between China and North Korea grew almost 40% in the first quarter. So much for China working with us, but we had to give it a try. At the United Nations Security Council today, the White House was seeking a fierce condemnation of North Korea's test of an intercontinental ballistic missile. Russia's foreign minister warned against broadening the agenda of the meeting.
We presume that the objective set by the UN Security Council is that the two Koreas and their neighbors consists of the denuclearization of the entire Korean peninsula, and it cannot and should not be used as a smokescreen to try to change the regime in North Korea.
North Korea will be a prime topic in what is arguably President Trump's most important meeting this week, his first face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit in Germany. The president has advocated a more constructive relationship with Russia, but he acknowledges Russia's destabilizing behavior in Ukraine and Syria has made improving relations difficult. And of course, hanging over President Trump's interaction with Putin will be the cloud of the investigation into Russian meddling in the election campaign. In preparation for the G20, the president laid down a marker on another big issue today, trade, tweeting this morning, quote, the United States made some of the worst trade deals in world history. Why should we continue these deals with countries that do not help us? But in what looks like a preemptive strike against President Trump's expected tough talk, the European Union and Japan on Thursday will announce they have come to a broad agreement on trade. In a tweet clearly meant for U.S. consumption, Donald Tusk, the former Polish prime minister, now president of the European Union, wrote, quote, EU-Japan summit on Thursday. Ambitious, free and fair trade deal in the making.
President Trump also spoke with Egypt's President al-Sisi about North Korea today, stressing the importance for all countries to fully implement United Nations Security Council resolutions against North Korea, to stop hosting North Korean guest workers, and to not provide economic or military assistance to Pyongyang. Brett?
John Roberts live in Warsaw just after midnight Thursday. John, thank you.